spreads, totals, props. Lots of ways to win money, but also lots of ways to lose. It's time for some sharp analysis. All sports, all over the globe, all the time. Home of the Guess Better jackpot, it's CorBET. Here is your host, Dylan Corbett.
All right, happy weekend, Saturday edition of CorBET. Absolutely scorching hot. Our guest better, Doug Cicciarelli. This is day 4 for him. So again, ever since Al Dawson, was written down in the history books, we have not had a guy get to day 4, I believe. So we're excited. We'll see what we've got for Doug as he looks to advance to day 5. Matthew cruising with us as well, and it's my favorite day, Saturday. Yes, 24 plays for you. Coming right at you. All right, but I'm actually keeping it light on college hoops. 5-play card for Doug Cicciarelli. He's got a couple football and some hoops. Let's start with the hardwood. Just a couple of games I'm on here. I'm on the game of the day. It's an early morning one. Gonzaga, Baylor, top 2 teams in the nation. I like Baylor here, +2. Gonzaga did beat West Virginia, but it was a little tighter than maybe the experts may have thought. I lost on that game. So I'll take the dog here. I've been impressed with Baylor. They already beat a pretty top 10 team in Illinois pretty handily, and they covered that one. So I've got the dog here, Baylor +2. And then the only other one, yes, I'm sure Matt's already highlighted this 10 times. Chicago State is on the board today. They are facing Northwestern. I've got Northwestern -32. And that does it for hoops for me. Doug, what are your 3 plays to get us started here on the hardwood?
I actually only have 2 hardwood. I got 3 football, 2 basketball. But basketball, my first game is Oklahoma State -22.5 versus Oakland. Kicks off at 7 tonight. Picked this just because Oakland, I've seen them play a couple times because of the Xavier Invitational, and they have just been smacked around a lot. So I can see Oklahoma State covering this easy. And then my second game is Eastern Illinois -6 versus Wisconsin Green Bay. Just a wild one out there. I don't even know if I'll be able to watch it if it's on TV, but Wisconsin Green Bay has just been absolutely plummeted by every single team they've faced so far this year. 6 points, Eastern Illinois. I think they cover that easy.
Yeah, short line. Eastern Illinois broke my heart against Chicago State a couple days ago, but the first half cashed. That meant Matt Cruzen got a wash on that one. He was right there with the first half cash. Matt, what are you seeing for the hardwood?
So game of the day, Gonzaga, Baylor. I'm against you here.
Huh?
Gonzaga -2. 2 is not enough here. I do like Baylor. I think it's Gonzaga, Baylor, and
Right.
everyone else. But I do think there's still a good difference between Gonzaga and Baylor. I'm playing Gonzaga first half too, -1.5. I think their size is going to give Baylor problems. Baylor starts 4 guards, even though they are very good, and Mark Vidal's not really a guard. But anyway, so going Gonzaga there. Then my other basketball play, SLU -33.5 against Arkansas Pine Bluff. SWAC members who have been getting blown out left and right. I think SLU wins big there. I'll probably play that first half line too when it comes out. I'll be in the -19 to 20 range. I'm staying away from Chicago State today. I have a feeling they can get a backdoor cover against Northwestern.
Great. I think everyone's in on it. I swear the Eastern Illinois.
Well, so it's like everyone knows about Chicago State and Mississippi Valley
Yes.
State. The entire public. Like, we knew about them last year. Everyone knows about them this year. So it's starting to sketch me out a little bit more because it's just you hate when every public square better is on the same side as you.
I've got the Eastern Illinois kids in the locker room saying, hey, should we, bet on Chicago State in the second half? And, everyone, their mother knows about Chicago State. To football. Let's go. I'll start here. Doug Cicciarelli wrapping up his 5-play guest better card with 3 football plays. But first, I got to churn out some plays that are inevitably going to lose. Actually, the heater might be back on. How about that? ULM last night, or UL Lafayette. Purdue, yes, rinse, wash, repeat, fade, Scott Frost. Purdue -1 at home. The Huskers stink. Scott Frost stinks. Rutgers at home +11.5. I saw Press was on a money line. That makes me worried. Rutgers +11.5. As Penn State comes to town. I'm on the over in Texas Tech and Kansas. I think there's just going to be so many points there. Kansas is terrible. I don't know what Les Miles is thinking. when he took that job. Mizzou at home. Arkansas was the Cinderella story of all covers for Gamblers Nation. That has since gone to the wayside the last 3 times. I'm going to make it 4 times here. I've got Mizzou at home. Shout out my Mizzou boys. They're pretty pumped about this team playing well at the right time, -2.5. You're going to have to go searching for this book, for this play on your book. UNC facing Western Carolina. Come on, guys. UNC, after losing to Notre Dame, total bounce back. They welcome in basically the wayward school for the blind. UNC -49.5. Yes, and I'm also taking the over 69.5. That's the early slate for college football. Doug, let's finish off your card.
All right, so I got 3 picks for football. Starting with OK State -2.5 versus TCU. Yeah, that's right. I'm going OK State in basketball and football today. Riding hard on the ponies. Second game of the day, I've got Bama versus LSU under 67. I just don't. I see Bama getting up for this game. Nick Saban getting mad if LSU even gets in the end zone. I think it'll be Bama score, maybe 42 points. LSU, I think they're going to have a real tough time scoring today. Plus, it's a fun game to watch tonight, so that's part of the reason why I bet it. And then my last game is, you got to be a special degenerate to bet this game. Akron versus Bowling Green. Both teams are 0-4. Akron hasn't won a game in 16 straight. So just 2 garbage squads, but somehow Akron's getting 2.5 points. Akron's picked to win by 2.5. I'm not touching that. I'm going on under 57. I just think both these offenses are terrible. And maybe 2 bad teams playing against each other, this will burn me, but I don't know. I just think it's going to be tough. Akron last week only had 4 rushing yards. So I think it'll be low scoring, under 57, promise pick, mortal lock. There you go.
Wow, 1-0 on mortal locks too. And I love that angle. Yeah, it's the shit bowl, Akron and Bowling Green, the doormat of the MAC. And you guys know I like making fun of former BC offensive coordinator Scott Leffler, who's the head coach of Bowling Green, and they absolutely suck ass. What do you have for football, Matt?
All right, starting with our Irish on senior night. Ian Book about to go out as the winningest quarterback in Notre Dame history. I'm going first half -29, -21, full game -33.5. Notre Dame wins 52-0. I do worry slightly about a backdoor because I think a lot of their reserves, especially the upperclassmen who don't ever play, are going to play a ton in the second half. But I think Notre Dame gets up big here. A play that I noticed you were on as well, Iowa State -6 at home against West Virginia. I like them in that spot there. Just after getting catapulted up into the top 10 of the CFP rankings, they're surely out of it. But if there's a Big 12 team with any type of shot, it's them.
Bragging rights, too. Iowa State definitely cares about that.
I think they win by touchdown. And then 2 plays, and actually – what's probably the most exciting game of today, and that is BYU Coastal Carolina.
Yes.
I am riding BYU -10 and over 62. I did see you're on Coastal Carolina. I think Zach Wilson is a special player. I see him being some are projecting him as the 2nd overall pick of the draft, like 2nd quarterback, 2nd pick, just boom, boom, right after Trevor. So really excited to sit down and watch them play against another team. This is really for bragging rights too, because it's not going to matter. I saw there's should Cincinnati schedule BYU? Like, no, Cincinnati's already at 7. Like, they had nothing to gain to. All they could do is lose to BYU and go backwards. They could beat them and stay exactly where they're at. So at least they picked up Coastal Carolina on the schedule.
I'm on them, as you said. I took Coastal Carolina +10, but I am with you on the over 62. As you alluded to, I'm on Iowa State -6.5 against West Virginia. Another 6.5 line I like. NC State against Georgia Tech. Sign me up. Obligatory BC play +4 at Virginia. I actually think they're going to lose, but
is Jurkovec playing?
He is going to play. He's listed on the depth chart. He's been practicing this week, but he's banged up. So, again, that worries me. BC +4 because it's obligatory. Central Michigan +1. This is, speaking of the MAC, we're all over the MAC. This might be the game of the MAC today. Central Michigan +1 against Ball State. I've got the home dog there, the very short home dog. Just quickly wrapping up with some Pac-12 after dark. Well, actually, this is afternoon. Washington, Stanford's terrible. Washington -11.5. And here's the Pac-12 After Dark. Cal +9 against Oregon. Too many points for me. Let's see here. Arizona +7.5. Same thing for me. If they lose by a touchdown, we cash that. San Diego State -7.5. Let's fade Steve Adazio and Colorado State. Oklahoma, death taxes, and playing them as they look to sneak into a top 10 on the College Football Playoff Committee. Oklahoma's going to blow out Baylor. I've got a -21.5. Too many points for the Pokes. I've got New Mexico +18 at home as Wyoming comes to town, and then Nevada, they just have to win by a touchdown, -6.5 against Fresno. All right, Doug, let's give the people the official Guess Better card again before we get them out of here.
All right, so college basketball, I got OK State -22.5 versus Oakland. And then I got Eastern Illinois -6 versus Wisconsin Green Bay. And then moving to football, I got OK State -2.5 versus TCU. Bama versus LSU under 67, and Akron versus Bowling Green under 57.
Love it. A 5-play card. You always got to have more action on a Saturday. And I lied. Before we get you out of here, I've got to give you some UFC plays. Yes, my best sport. First, I'm going to probably lose on Juventus -1.5. It's even money. I took that. That kicks off in an hour. Jake Collier +165. This is the first fight of the pre-card. +165. I'll take him there. I like the dog in the headlining fight. Jack Hermanson is a lot better fighter than Marvin Vettori. +110. Hermanson's going to demolish him. And then a little 2-fighter parlay here. I've got Talia Santos, the female fighter that's going in the main card, and then Roman Dolidze. He is undefeated going against John Allen. Little 2-fighter parlay. There's +122. All right, Guess Better Doug Cicciarelli going for day 5. Matthew Cruz and I'm Dylan CorBET. You know it by now, Doug. Let's cash, right?
Let's cash.